As you have often heard me say, I am a teacher, not a speaker. And with that being said, I have students that will be up here in the next few minutes. And if you're wondering, why do I have on this scarf? Why do I have it on? It's actually National Scarf Day. So just to have a little school spirit and be festive, I threw on my scarf. Now, I'm just taking a moment to talk about one specific characteristic of life. There are some things that are living, and there are some things that obviously are considered non-living, but when it comes to life science, when it comes to life, because there's a science to life, there is one characteristic that all living things have. They respond to stimuli. So when something is in our environment, we have some type of response to that stimuli, whatever it is. Well, there's this tree that lives in Ecuador and Southern America, and it's referred to as the walking palm. You see this tree, it's constantly trying to battle and get sunlight. And a lot of times it's in thick jungles or densely populated areas, dense in terms of vegetation, and these trees need light to live. They go through that process, we know, photosynthesis, and they produce energy and they release oxygen that we need to breathe. So we need these trees as well. But these trees want to live. Not only do they want to live, they strive and stretch for it on a daily basis. So what do I mean? See, these trees, they sit up on their roots almost as if they're stilts. And what happens is whenever vegetation gets really thick and they're competing, battling for sunlight that it needs to live, then its roots start to move forward. It starts to move into areas where there's more sun, and the tree slowly shifts in that area. And what happens, the roots that are furthest away from where the sun is shining, those roots, you know what happened to them? They dry out, they die, and they break off. So what actually happens over a period of time, you have roots constantly growing towards the sunlight, the tree constantly shifting in that direction towards what it needs to survive, and the roots that are no longer serving their purpose, they're actually holding it back. They're drying out, they're dying, they break off, they get released, and that tree just shifts closer to where the sun is shining. Now, it could only be a few centimeters every few days, but if I were to really break this down, it could be 20 to 30 meters a year. So we're talking, it could be over 60 feet. So just imagine seeing this tree somewhere in South America or Ecuador, and you come back a year later and it's 60 to 70 or 80 feet away from where you last saw it. That just lets us know that, hey, it has one main characteristic that all living things have: how it responds to stimuli. It's an environment. So my question for you all as I wrap this up, how do we respond? How do we react to the stimuli that's in our life? There are some things that may hold us back. They're not helping us progress. And I'm not even saying that they're bad, because the roots, they serve their purpose. They pull up the water and help with the nutrients that the tree needs to live. However, when it's time for that tree to move in the direction that it needs to thrive, in that sunlight, those same roots that are behind it, they dry out, they get released, they snap off and die, and roots are constantly growing in that tree. What is it willing to do? It's willing to shift and lean towards what's helping it sustain its life and thrive. We can't hold on to those roots. We can't continue to unless they're the ones pulling us towards what we need to reach our goals and be successful. Now remember, I'm a teacher, not a speaker, and I want you all to have an amazing day.